Hi, it's me. I've not posted in a year, and there's many reasons. I've kind of left social media basically. I've just been doing my own thing, living my life. I'm 21 years old now. I've been on the internet for 10 years. There's traces of me back like fucking years ago, 10 years ago, and I think I like to reflect on it a little bit. So I started posting on an old channel when I was about 10ish, really fucking cringe videos. I'd post kind of just shit, to be honest. I opened results for my 11 plus, which is a exam here in the UK, which can determine if you can get entrance into a grammar school or not. Some schools have them, some don't. It's not really popular anymore. But yeah, it was just mostly garbage content. I started my current channel about 6 years ago. I want to say about 8, maybe 7. Because there is videos on my channel that aren't there anymore. I've deleted them. For example, I was talking about my secondary school being on the everyone's invited list. Talk about my experience of sexual abuse within said school, not named though, and dodgy dealings within that school. I also had a video talking about how I view myself as a person when I was before year 11 prom. So I had to have been 16. And I was talking about how I didn't really view myself nice, and that I've always felt like other people's emotions and words weighed more on me than they should. That got mischaracterized by old friends and stuff, and that was a fun situation. Not. So I officially redid my channel in about 5 years ago now, and I did 2 songs or poems. They were shit. They're still up, but they're shit. I had a video about witnessing death. Now that was because I witnessed a hit and run outside my parents' house, and I saw someone die. That was not fun. And then my first proper videos are on Repzilla and Belle Aubrey, talking about how they lied and how they silenced people trying to expose someone called Asman, and also how they were lying about Eugenia Cooney. Now, I dragged this situation on, and I'm kind of glad I did, because it really helped. So, I'm doing 2 videos, doing an update, then responding to his opening up video where I was like, no, you didn't do this, you didn't address this and shit. I talked about how he ended up blocking me from his comments and stuff, how he lied about who controls his Instagram DMs and shit. And it was pretty decent, I'll be honest. Everything has been settled now, by the way. Belle Aubrey's left the internet, she's never addressed anything. Especially regards to what she did regarding Asman and Eugenia Cooney. Repzilla has, though. So, the Asman thing, he didn't really do much about. Then again, it's fair enough. Xylee and Redsky did 2 great streams on it. As much as I don't speak to them anymore, have my own personal opinions about them, aka I don't give a shit. They did 2 great streams on it, and I'm forever thankful for those. But he did apologise to my best friend Des and stuff, and also Repzilla did help me in the future. I did a bit about me, what's to come. The effect of false allegations is a video I'd like to redo. I was centering around Brendan Urie and the false sexual assault allegations against him. I want to redo that video and do it more high quality because I still see those false allegations pushed around. And I want to talk about them quite badly. But also I want to compare it to allegations that get ignored and the responses to that. For example, I want to compare Brandon to Pete Wentz. Because Pete Wentz dated someone under the age of 18 when they were over the age of 18, and that rarely gets talked about. So yeah, gonna do about that. I did 2 Fallout 4 episodes, so I streamed them and stuff. You know, gameplay ain't that shit. I'll try again. I'll probably be Twitch streaming again. But those are fucking cringe. My Amino video. My Amino video is one of the videos I am the most proud of. Sorry, my cat just distracted me. If you haven't been following me on Twitter or my Instagram, because my Instagram is personal, Twitter's public, I have a cat, and I'll show you her when she comes out of the little box. But back to this. So in my Mina video, I'm very proud of it. It was featured in a very big video about Mina. Was it? Hang on, let me. I can't remember who did the video. Let me find it. It was Visual Venture. They did a video about Mino and they included my story and my video in it. And about how I was part of a role-playing group, got banned because older men were trying to groom me and sexually roleplay, which is also a form of grooming. How I worked my way up in a community, got banned for trying to take down people who were trying to do that and shit. That was a proud video for me to make. I had screenshots and stuff. It was a hell of a time with me, and I hope to God it stays shut down, if it's still shut. I did a video about my papaya, who still spreads lies about Eugenia Cooney and people like that. I want to remake that video and my other video because I think I could make it more high quality, especially with this nice camera and my lovely apartment. What was this 8 years video? Ah, I see. So it was about my eating disorder. And how I was struggling with eating, and also the fact that I experienced sexual assault, and stuff. It was 8 years. It was 8 years since I was discharged from a dietitian program. That kind of fucks with my head a little bit. I have Alfred, and when I was younger that wasn't considered a thing, especially for girls. And because my mum refused to pursue any sort of autism or ADHD diagnosis, which I am planning on going through myself, because I had a screening and they determined that they couldn't diagnose me with ADHD due to how much PTSD I have. I laugh, but it's true. They couldn't determine whether or not it was ADHD or my PTSD. But my arthritis is genuinely a thing. I talked about a game called Artificial Academy, and I do want to omit that, and I want to include other games, such as Nekopara. These games felicitate the production of CP and lolicon content. I really, really want to remake those videos. If I get the chance, I basically just, really hate people using the excuse of, oh, the characters are 18. I'm sorry, but that's a child. It looks like a child, talks like a child, acts like a child. Half the research I do to find the character's age says they're a child. Just because the creator's like, oh, they're 18. No. Everything that people base from the anime and the games, they're a child. Shit like that. I did another video on Repzilla about I see. It was about Repzilla and stuff.
Because I'm gonna show this here.
Talking about how he was just fucking up at the time. Then I go on to why Eugenia's ban is harmful for TikTok. I still agree with that video. Because I do believe banning someone purely because of how they look is harmful. It says bad person. Oh, hi, Moochie. 1 second. I know, it's all so horrible. Look at her. The tiniest little bit orange on her chest, and she's completely mentally orange. I love it though. She is 9 months old. She was born May 22nd, 2025. And she's a good little kitty. There, put it down, honey. So, my next video was how YouTuber fanbase may echo a cult-like mentality. Absolutely shit video. But I think I made that thumbnail myself. I can't remember. Then it was Why I Quit the I Don't Know How They Got Away With It series. Ooh, spicy. You wanna know why I took it down? People will blame my voice and the sprite I had made for it. Not the content, not the actual factual content I had. It was my delivery and my little sprite that I made, and I was really proud of at the time. If I had the time, I'd do this hot series again, because I think it's fun. I think it's fun to just talk about things and address how people can be, and how actions and words can still sting, and how apologies and genuine change of behaviour is needed for people. Like, I talked about so much in that. So initially I was trying to record it all as one, and I had to stop because I was trying to mash it all into one, and they got over 4 hours worth of content. And considering how long ago that was, and how much has happened since, over 5 to 8 hours of content. God help me. John the Ugly Duckling Swan. That was about John Swan.
Hey everyone, so
Oh, God. Oh, yeah, I talked about John Swan. I made my own thumbnail. Oh, God, I talk about Craig in here. No.
So that statement right there is completely hypocritical, as he intentionally traditionally as
Wait.
of writing my script. Craig Beckett did, so full props to him for catching this. I am
Oh. This was 21st of June 2022. Oh, God, how old was I? So it's 3. Oh, it's 4 years ago. I was 17. Well, we'll get to that later. But, I give props to fucking Craig in that video. Ew. Then Deaf Noodles go rollerblading already. That was a reference to a debate. I think it was Keemstar. But it was with Deaf Noodles. The fuck has happened to Deaf Noodles? One minute I remember him being this weird ass person. And now he's like an alt-right major grifter. What the fuck happened? I have my own thoughts. And I'm gonna save it for end of this. Now, we got on to the Craig saga. So, context. If you don't know who I am, but if you remember Craig Beckett, I am sorry. I have seen his penis. It was tiny. Basically, not long after my 17th birthday, me and Craig started speaking. He said he wanted to speak to more people, and I was like, give me a few times. Let me just wait a little bit. I may message you. And I did. Me and him started speaking, and it got sexual pretty fast, and he was pushing it onto me, and there was times where he was pressuring me to send him stuff or record stuff, and I wasn't comfortable. I was like, my brother's in the next room, the walls are really thin, people can hear it. He'd say very disgusting things, like good little Girl Scout or something like that. And I remember when he asked to see me in pictures of my swimming costume, he was at a family gathering. I remember I had to go home because we had a power cut at school, and I can't remember if it was the same night, but around about the time, he was in the bathroom and stuff, and he had to adjust his belt before he went to go back to the family, and potentially his partner that he was seeing. Yeah, I didn't find out about that for a while. And he sent me a video. Very fucking gross. But he said a bunch of things to me. Tried to buy me things. He comforted me. I found comfort in him, talking to him, because I felt like he understood me. I was 17, he was 29. I'm 21 now. He would be 33 this September. 34 even. It's mental to me to think about now. And I remember telling two people about it, and the next day in a wake up he's fled. And he tries to defend it. His hopefully ex-partner tried to defend it. I remember people banding together to help me, despite differences, despite everything. And I'll always be thankful for that. How people banded together for me. Where I had no voice, but I used it anyway. I remember typing that message, I am ready to talk. And yeah, I had a script planned. I didn't hide the fact from Craig I was working on something. He just didn't know what. I remember I posted a photo, and in the reflection, I was writing a Google Doc. And yeah, I was planning on it. I was planning on it a week before it actually happened. I just didn't have time to react. If I had got everything quick enough, I think it would have been bigger, but I'm glad it wasn't. That's a chapter of my life that is mental to think about. That I can tell people, oh yeah, I was involved in some crazy shit back in the day. I had someone recognize me out in public from the situation. At my local club. My go-to club. They're like, you seem familiar. I was like, oh no. They're like, I was like, oh yeah, I was like into music shit back in the day. It's like, and she was like, oh, that's where I remember you from. I'm like, Craig? Yeah. Fucking mind-blowing shit. Then my next video after was about the pro-Anna content on TikTok. I still get recommended it. Calorie counting, low calorie shit. All that bullshit. And then my video on Max, Mama Max, still get fucked. I find it ironic how he tried to use me. I remember that messages. He's like, oh, do you go by Emmy? Emmy? Do you go by Emmy? What do you fucking think? And I remember, like, all that shit happening. I remember Spider, who is a whole of a kettle of fish, but I hope they're doing well now, despite everything they did. And I remember Max, like, saying he had an apology for me, but he never told me that directly. And how he used Craig to profit. I wouldn't be surprised if they're still friends. You think Mama Max is gonna pass up on something like that? Someone who can work in the shadows for him? Then again, there were some things that Craig told me, and I remember having really emotional discussions about him regarding someone in his family and stuff. And some people have been told a reason why he left the internet, and I have my own suspicions it was regarding this family member. But I hope that there is peace. Then it was like a video in the works, and it was about my papaya again. I cracked something pretty big, in my opinion, in that video. So I was looking through my papaya video, and I noticed a screenshot was cropped to leave out something very important. It was a message previously and stuff. I remember being so happy about it. That was like, I found something big. She cropped this screenshot to make it seem like Eugenia never responded, or like this person said who was blackmailing them and stalking them. I found the full screenshot, and nowhere was the name said or anything. I am proud of my Papaya videos. God, I was young, but I knew right from fucking wrong. Minecraft Legends quick review. Yeah, that's a good 2-minute video, basically saying it's shit. Minecraft Legends is just horrific. It's not even worth the money, considering they're shutting down the online servers. There's less than 2 hours worth of gameplay in a Minecraft game. Minecraft Dungeons, I spent more hours than I like to admit in that game. Not paid a single penny for anything but the game. and it was so fun. A short video about Made by Mitchell lying, saying that Nyx copied him. I still stand by that video. Made by Mitchell was not copied by Nyx. And I say that as someone who owns Made by Mitchell. Some of the products on that, they're great. It's just, I like expanding my makeup collection. It was stuff I'll actually use. I did a Colleen Ballinger parody. I did a review on Wild Deodorant. I can give an update, if you even care. I still use Wild. I have... I have the Paddington case. I still use Wild to this day. I think it's one of the best stick deodorants on the market. I've used Michelin. I've used Nivea and Fussy. I find Wild to be the best. I did a video on feeling dehumanized, and this is what I think it was about. I did feel like my name was being just used, just for views, just for clicks, with the Grass Craig situation, where no one actually took into consideration how I felt. Now, if you don't know about how badly it affected me, I was sick for over a week, constantly throwing up, barely sleeping. I struggled so bad, to the point my parents were genuinely convinced I was pregnant, because of how bad physically I was. And that is something I still stand by, that I don't think a lot of YouTubers actually consider the impact on the victims and survivors. Because there was only a few people who actually cared about my well-being, and some didn't. I did a video about intimate washes. I still stand by the fact they're bullshit. I did a Mr. Beast Feastables review before I left my parents' house. I did a video on Yandere Dev exposing the fact he knew about Asman back in 2018. Is that 2018? It looks like 2018 from what I can read. And him and Cameron, both pieces of shit, both knew that Asman was a groomer and a pedophile before it came out. And still, he kept silent about it, and then obviously they both repeated their own actions. Well, like his actions and stuff. I'll give an update to Asman at the end, because that's like a big thing I do want to talk about. But yeah, Yandere fucked up. He knew it was all wrong, and then he went on to do it anyway. I did a video on Mama Max. YouTube filth. Oh god, this is my first year flat. I was reading off a script. But, I was talking about how he used me. And shit. I was talking about Spencer and stuff. I remember. I was using Kiwi Farms. I know. Before you say anything, I know. But I used Kiwi Farms to help with that research, but also my friend Charlie had a bunch of information, found a bunch of information and stuff, and helped me with it a bit. But also, I remember seeing things on Twitter as well. Echo Tragedy. But you haven't heard that name in a while in the commentary community. I remember exposing the fact that he was a bit of a creep. Not long after my 18th birthday, he was offering to pay me money for my nudes. He bought me games, sent me gift cards for money, bought me food. Now, I remember not being believed, and I remember being ridiculed. And to those people, fuck you. And I had my nudes shared in a Discord call by him that I was not aware he kept screenshots of. I specifically remember being told it, that I was one of the women. And where were people feeling bad for me? They felt bad for the other women. But because I took the first strike against him, I wasn't considered as worthy, you could say. I was 18, freshly 18, I should add. I will admit, I was very naive. I was a very vulnerable 18-year-old. I, at one point, was pregnant. I was pregnant at 18. And it was around the end of January. I was pregnant. I miscarried. I lost that baby. And I didn't tell anyone. The only way people know is because I've said it. I've told people now. As a 21-year-old, more strong-willed and independent person. When I was in sixth form, I miscarried. And I didn't tell Echo, I didn't tell anyone. But I remember I told Echo when my brother got arrested. I can't remember that. It was about a month after I miscarried. It was around February 2023. I think it was about late February. Early March. My brother was arrested, and I'm gonna not really give much information, but it was a crime against a child over the internet. I remember I posted on Twitter about how I made a post, but you wouldn't realise that I had just received a call that morning telling me my brother was sent to jail, to prison. Because I don't post my entire life on the internet. I learnt not to. There's a life updates video. This was in here. My Echo Tragedy video. God. That fucking hair, man. It was split dye pink and green. I kind of want to cry because that flat I spent about a month in with my ex-partner, who I left because he was not good to me. My fucking cut ass bangs that I did myself. This was either around, it was before something else. Or it was like after actually. So I remember mentioned that I kept a list of people who had flirted with me not long after I turned 18. Or acted news to me and stuff, not long I turned after 18. Yes, I had that. And I only had that to protect myself. Because if someone leaked something, I can trace it back to who it was. I was paranoid. And with what Echo did, I had every right to be. If one news got leaked, but I know who had it, at least then I could be like, hey, what the fuck are you doing? And there were some people who had no business talking to me that way. Who shouldn't have. I was too young for them. And the live updates video was me being splat. Not decorated. And it's not worth a video. A year ago I attempted to overdose on painkillers. Because of a stupid fucking ex. Now, if you're going to take anything away from this video, do not attempt to overdose on painkillers. It is painful. It will fuck you up badly. You'll be throwing up for hours. You'll be sat in A&E for almost 2 days with no proper consultations. You'll have a potassium drip which burns like hell. It is not worth it. At all. The mental anguish I put on myself and the people around me. Now to wrap it up. Asman's dead. Okay, better way to put it. Asman has been dead for about 3 years now. Almost-ish. He's been dead almost 3 years. He committed suicide because he was on trial, facing criminal prosecution. Now there's a reason why there's no public death records and stuff, because New Zealand don't have public death records. So you can't just Google it and be like, well, there's no record saying he's dead. It's because there is no public records of it. So yeah, he committed suicide. I knew about the criminal proceedings. I knew about the trial. I knew about some of the statements. I've seen emails. And the person who was close to the trial, standing on the trial, witness against him, they're the ones who told us that he died, that he killed himself. So, if people are like, oh, it's a trusting process, the person on the witness stand who no one wants to be involved, good for them, they want to move on with their life, is the one who told us that he's dead. His house has been sold. So, where is he living if he's alive? Because a former co-worker of his gave us some details, just so that we can match certain things. He is dead. He ain't coming back. I don't know what else to talk about, so that's the end.